The only reward of those who make war on Allah and His Messenger and strive after corruption in the land will be that they will be killed or crucified. Yeah?
Okay.
For those who cause corruption, do you think Christians cause corruption?
Some of them.
Who are the Christians who cause corruption?
The ones that cause corruption are the ones that cause corruption.
Yeah, who are they? What is the
You want me to
corruption we're
name
talking
them?
about? What is the corruption we're talking
That
about?
has caused corruption. Murder, theft, dishonesty, usury, fraud, rape.
Interesting. You have read the Quran.
Crimes.
One second. You have read the Quran yourself. The Quran is very particular that there is one kind of worst corruption. Do you know what it is?
Believing that there's no God.
Believing what?
Shirk.
Shirk. Very good. And you think Christians commit shirk?
No.
Christians don't commit shirk?
1 second.
What does the Quran say? Does the Quran
Let me
say?
land. Only the ones that believe that Jesus is God.
Good. I believe Jesus is God. So I am a person with shirk. So I am a corrupter.
Yeah,
What do-
we should kill you now.
You see?
Yeah,
You see the point?
we should kill him.
So this is not a joke.
I know. I'm just
This
thinking where
is-
you want to go. No, it is a joke.
No,
it's funny.
It's funny for
Because
you.
you're still alive.
No, one second.
That's why it's funny.
No,
I'm
it's-
trying
excuse
to
me.
pop a bubble. I'm
I
trying to pop a bubble in your head.
I am not in
You're
Mecca
still
in
alive.
Saudi Arabia.
You're still alive.
I'm not in Mecca.
How many Christians have been
Where
killed?
are we alive?
How
Where
many
am I alive?
Christians have been killed due to this?
Where am I
Due
alive?
to this blasphemy that they're committing.
Where am I alive?
Christians are dying left, right, and center. Every Muslim here has a sword.
Where am I
And we have
alive?
Killed all Christians. We should kill all Christians.
How many Christians were
That's what we
killed by
want.
Muhammad and his army?
Where's this?
When Muslims say that worshiping Jesus is shirk or associating partners with Allah, they are speaking from the firm foundation of Islamic theology, which is uncompromising when it comes to the concept of tawheed, the absolute oneness of God. In Islam, there is no greater sin than shirk. So when a Christian declares that Jesus is Lord, they are automatically classified as mushrik, a polytheist, in Islamic belief. This isn't a fringe interpretation. It's clearly affirmed in several Qur'anic verses, including Surah Al-Mā'idah, verse 72, which states that those who say, Allah is the Messiah, the Son of Mary, have committed disbelief, and that their final abode is the fire of hell. But it doesn't stop at theological classification. The Qur'an goes further, offering not just belief, but actionable instructions regarding those who commit shirk. In Surah At-Tawbah, verse 5, what many scholars call the sword verse, the command is explicit. After the sacred months have passed, kill the polytheists wherever you find them. The verse is not metaphorical. It's accompanied by direct military orders. Seize them, besiege them, and lie in wait for them. Classic Islamic commentators like Ibn Kathir explain that this verse is a declaration of war against those who commit shirk and refuse to submit to Islam. Some attempt to soften the verse by limiting its application to specific Arab tribes who broke peace treaties. But the dominant view among classical scholars is that this verse abrogates earlier, more peaceful verses, such as, "There is no compulsion in religion." In other words, for many traditional jurists, this verse represents the Qur'an's ultimate stance toward polytheists who reject Islam. They are to be fought and, if necessary, killed. Christians, however, fall into a slightly different category. They are considered al-Kitab, the people of the book, recipients of earlier revelation. But that status does not exempt them from Islamic pressure. Surah At-Tawbah, verse 29, commands Muslims to fight the people of the book who do not believe in Allah and the Last Day until they pay the jizya, a special tax, in a state of submission and humiliation. This isn't just a financial policy. It's a visible mark of political and social inferiority. If Christians refuse to pay the jizya or reject Islam outright, they too are to be fought. In a setting like Speaker's Corner in London, these commands are not enforced, not because Islam has evolved or grown more tolerant, but simply because Sharia law holds no legal power there. A Christian is free to declare that Jesus is Lord without punishment, not because Islam permits it, but because secular British law protects freedom of speech and religion. So when a Muslim says, "We don't kill you, even though you're a mushrik," it is not evidence that Islam allows you to live. It is only evidence that, for now, Islam does not rule over you.
What's happening?
By Muhammad and his army, how many Christians are killed?
Crusades, conquering.
Look, Muhammad and his army.
You want to talk about the Spanish Inquisition?
Do you have a hearing
You wanna
issue?
talk about war,
Do you
or
suddenly
do you
have a
talk about
hearing
religion?
issue right now? I thought we were supposed to read,
Read.
understand with an open mind, and get to where the evidence leads us. Do we agree?
We agree.
Do we agree?
We agree on what?
So we need to read,
okay.
understand, find evidence, and go where the evidence leads us with an open mind. You said Christians commit shirk because anyone who calls Jesus is God is committing a shirk. It is
immoral.
the Quran. One second. The Quran is very clear. This is the worst of shirks possible. You agree? So you are with an open mind. Please don't look somewhere else. You need to focus here. What we have read here is here. Please focus right now. Don't daydream and try to see how you can escape from where you're caught up. Please, one second. Can we agree? Can we agree? Whether you do it or not, you might be a lovely man, but a very bad Muslim. Can we best agree that the text says a Muslim who takes the Quran seriously, who has the guts to follow the Quran seriously, will need to fulfill what Islamic Allah himself has given as an edict here. Christians should be either killed or crucified or have their hands and feet on alternative sides cut off. No, let's conclude this and then you ask me a question. Do we agree? A good Muslim, Osama bin Laden would be a good Muslim. Do we agree?
Fine, I'll answer you.
One second. Do we agree Osama bin Laden is a good Muslim because he ends up killing Christians?
You know, 50
He ended up.
Question. 50 years ago, 100 years ago, there was a death penalty, right? There was a death penalty in this country and in the
Are you
West.
talking about the UK right now?
I am.
We're talking about
I
Islam.
am answering your
UK wasn't
Can you let
governed
me
by
answer it
Islam.
in the way I want to answer it, or do I have to follow?
I'll give you 2 minutes.
If you want to answer
I'll
it
entertain
yourself,
you for 2 minutes.
Talk to yourself. If you want to hear what someone else has to say, let me say.
I'll entertain you for 2 minutes, but if it's irrelevant to what we were talking about, I'll bring you back to the subject.
Perfect. In this country and in other countries, there's a death penalty, and there's crimes raging from treason, blasphemy. So if you say in some countries in the UK and like back in the day and in America, if you say something bad about the Queen, for example, they'll hang you. And that's the Queen, that's a human being. There's laws against theft, there's laws against murder, there's laws against blasphemy, as I said. So when the Quran comes along and does rules that are followed, you're saying this now, you have the luxury of saying this now because right now, this country has become secular, where they don't believe in killing anyone.
You're waffling on right now. Can we please quickly
What
agree?
does secular mean? Secular means they don't follow the word of God
1 second.
as law.
I don't consider the Quran to be the
law
word
is
of God
done
at
by-
all.
that's
But
what I'm
let's
saying.
come there.
So this book here says that the word of God is law because it's not secular.
You're giving an excuse and then a reason.
I'm not giving an excuse.
I'm focused on the conclusion first.
Because you're saying
Do we both agree that the Quran
You're pinpointing Islam and you're saying Islam is like this. I'm telling you
Isn't
the whole
Islam-
world is like this. It's only now you have the luxury to look at Islam with a magnifying glass and say, look at this book, what it's saying.
Look,
I'm saying,
can we agree?
This is the norm.
You're waffling on right now. Can
This
we
is the
agree?
norm. I'm saying this is
Can
the
we
norm.
agree? Because you started off somewhere else. Now you are being defensive.
saying- I'm
You are
not
being
being
defensive. Can we
As
very
long as the
quickly
camera
agree?
Can hear me, I'm happy.
Absolutely.
Because you're being defensive.
Absolutely.
You're actually being
Can we
You're
please
not being
quick?
open-minded to what I'm saying.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Can we please very quickly agree? The Quran is extremely clear.
The Quran has-
whatever
the
excuse.
Quran
Well,
has
let me
no-
finish. Let me finish, please.
Yeah.
Whatever excuse you
Thank
give,
God, thank
whatever excuse you give, the Quran is extremely clear for whoever takes the Quran seriously, i.e., a faithful Muslim. When they find a Christian who considers Jesus to be God, who a Christian is, you are supposed to kill them, crucify them, or chop their hands on the alternative sides. You've also been. Can I please tell you one more thing? Can I please tell you one more thing? The Quran also says. The Quran also says, if it is convenient for you, the Quran also says,
Be open-minded.
if it is not convenient for you to tell the
Why do you still want
truth,
to believe
lie.
that? Why do you still want to
Have
believe?
you heard of this word called taqiyya?
No, we don't believe this.
You don't believe in
It's haram
taqiyya?
to lie. It's haram to lie.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. That says it all. It's Islamic
haram to
theology. That'll be another story, Rahil. Thank you very much. Lovely to speak to you.
Listen, thank you, yeah.
Surah Al-Mā'idah, verse 33, speaks about the punishment for those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger and cause corruption on the earth. The language of the verse is strikingly severe. It prescribes death, crucifixion, amputation of hands and feet on opposite sides, or exile. This is not merely a spiritual warning. It forms the legal basis for capital punishment in classical Islamic jurisprudence against anyone deemed a threat to the Islamic order. Although the verse does not explicitly mention Christians, historical application and classical tafsir show that it has been extended to non-Muslims, including Christians, especially when they are seen as opposing Islam. In classical Islamic thought, the phrase waging war against Allah and His Messenger is not limited to armed conflict. It can also refer to refusing to convert to Islam, refusing to pay the jizya tax, or preaching another faith, such as Christianity, within Islamic lands. Commentators like Ibn Kathir interpret this verse as legislation to be enforced within an Islamic state. Anyone who defies the authority of the Prophet or the Islamic government, whether by weapons, defiant rejection, or social agitation, can be subject to the punishments outlined in this verse. Thus, a Christian living under Islamic rule who refuses to submit by rejecting Muhammad's prophethood or refusing to pay the jizya may be classified under this category. Crucifixion in this context is not symbolic. In classical fiqh, it is a literal form of execution intended to intimidate and demonstrate the supremacy of Islam over its adversaries. So when someone asks, would Muslims crucify a Christian for not acknowledging Muhammad? The answer depends on context. In a fully implemented Sharia system, under traditional interpretation, rejection of Islam can be treated as hostility, and in that framework, Surah 533 may be invoked. In other words, this verse is not merely rhetorical, it has been used as a functional legal mandate within traditional Islamic governance. It opens theological and judicial space to punish anyone who refuses to submit, including Christians, not simply because of their faith, but because they reject Islamic authority within Islamic territory.